Remote testing, troubleshooting. Support menu. Inside the Chrome and iOS app, we provide a support menu in the lower left corner. Here you can run a timing check to test the response times on the remote PC. This can be done ahead of testing, to ensure the IVA 2 web test application is tracking clicks properly. Or after testing, if you suspect latency in the response times. The timing check will run through 10 trials of the selected stimulus. The remote user should respond to the presented stimulus.
1.
Once the 10 trials are complete, the timing check will present the response times on screen. Responses should typically fall between 170 and 350 milliseconds. It is usually a good idea to check both the auditory and visual in case there is latency in responses to one type but not the other. Accurate response times are necessary for the test results to be considered valid. Remote users can use the Send Log option to send an activity log to brain-trained technical support. This may be useful if the remote user encounters any odd error messages or trouble during the test. This can also serve as a way to contact brain-trained technical support. Error messages. If the remote user receives an error that the test has been interrupted, then this means the test must start over. The reason for the interruption is to prevent invalid test data from being collected. If interruptions are persistent, then it may be a good idea to try a different device. Overzealous pop-ups and messages from outside of the Chrome window or iOS app can cause trouble. If you receive an error, test has not been completed, then this means there is no data on the remote testing server for this test. This may mean the remote test did not run to completion. Or the test completed but the data was unable to upload to the server. You can ask the remote user to try logging back in with the assigned test code and password. If the test begins again, then this means the test did not run to completion. If the remote user receives this message when attempting to log in with the same test code and password, then there should be test data available to download. The test code and password will remain active until the test is completed, or the test code is manually removed. If the remote user is unable to log in with the assigned test code, then you can remove the current test code and assign a new test code. Do not remove a test code for a test in progress. This option can also be used to remove any previously assigned test codes that were not used. Remote test data. If you have experienced a PC crash and need to download outstanding remote test data, then there is an option to manually download the test data inside IVA 2. From the main menu, go to Database Management, then Manually Download Test. Here you can enter the test code and password for the remote test. You can save the test data to an existing record or create a new record. BrainTrain does not store any identifying information on our remote testing server. If you encounter a scenario where you download test data to the wrong person's record, then you have the ability to correct this. Under the Edit Test Records menu, select the record that currently has the desired test data, then select Move Test Administration. You can then move the test data to the desired record, if it currently exists, or create a new record for the test data. You should now be able to access the correct record under the Reports and Data Analysis menu. If you have any questions, you can submit a support ticket to BrainTrain Technical Support at braintrainhelp.com.